Differential pricing strategies, also known as price discrimination, is a strategic approach used by businesses to charge different price to different customers for the same product or service. The primary objective of this strategy is to maximize revenue by capturing consumer surplus, which is the difference between what consumers are willing to pay and what they actually pay. By tailoring prices to various customer segments, companies can effectively increase their profitability. At the heart of differential pricing lies the understanding that not all customers value a product or service equally. This variation is evaluation allows businesses to set different prices based on several factors such as customer demographics, purchase quantity, location, and time of purchase. There are several types of differential pricing, each with its own distinct characteristics and applications. First, degree price discrimination or personalized pricing involves charging each customer the maximum price they are willing to pay. This approach requires detailed knowledge of each individual customer's willingness to pay, often gathered through extensive data collection and analysis. While this can theoretically maximize profits, it is challenging to implement due to the difficulty in accurately determining each customer's price threshold and the potential backlash from customers who may perceive this as unfair. Second, degree price discrimination occurs when prices vary according to the quantity consumed or the product version. This type is commonly seen in bulk discounts, tiered pricing models, and versioning strategies. For instance, software companies often offer basic, standard, and premium versions of their products, each with different features and at different price points. This allows customers to choose a version that best fits their needs and budget, thereby capturing more consumer surplus. Third, degree price discrimination involves segmenting the market into distinct groups based on identifiable characteristics such as age, location, or time of purchase. Each segment is then charged a different price. Common examples include student and senior discounts, regional pricing differences, and peak versus off-peak price in service like telecommunications or transportation. By recognizing and catering the verifying price sensitivities of different segments, businesses can attract a broader customer base and optimize revenue. Successful implementation of differential pricing strategy hinges on a deep understanding of customer segments and their willingness to businesses must carefully balance the need to maximize revenue with maintaining customer trust and avoiding perceptions of unfairness or price gouging. Clear communication, transparency, and value justification are crucial in ensuring that customers perceive differential pricing as a fair and reasonable. Differential pricing is a powerful strategy that enables businesses to capture more value from their customers by aligning prices with their verifying willingness to pay. By effectively segmenting the market and tailoring prices to different customer groups, companies can enhance their profitability while catering to a diverse range of consumers' needs. However, the success of this strategy depends on the careful and ethical application of pricing tactics, ensuring that all customers feel valued and fairly treated. There are advantages of differential pricing. The first, revenue optimization. Revenue optimization is the main advantage of differential pricing is that it enables a company to optimize its revenue. In general, a company wants to sell its product or services to a given customer for as much as he is willing to pay. Practically, one customer may have higher desire for the product or service than another. The second, cost coverage. Another major benefit of a differential pricing strategy is the ability to establish diverse pricing points of that help account for the cost of making products. The third, production efficiency. Production efficiency is effective differential pricing has a strong correlation with high production efficiency. According to the Gavi case, when companies are able to price based on demand to cover costs with predictable accuracy, it makes it much easier for firms to produce just what customer will buy. Overproduction can impact supply and demand and make it more difficult to derive higher price points from more willing customers. Discount pricing. Discount pricing is refers to the reduction of the original price of a product or service to encourage sales, attract customers, and foster loyalty. Businesses employ several types of discounts, each tailored to specific marketing goals and customer behaviors. One common form of discount is the percentage discount. Percentage discount is where a certain percentage is subtracted from the original price. For instance, consider a jacket price at 100. If a store offers a 20% discount, the customer saves 20, paying only 80. This straightforward reduction appeals to buyers looking for immediate savings. Another form is the fixed amount discount, where a specific dollar amount is deducted from the original price. For example, if a pair of shoes costs $50 and the store offers a $10 discount, the customer pays $40. This type of discount is easy to understand and often used during sales events or promotions. Allowance pricing involves price reductions granted by manufacturers to retailers in exchange for a certain actions or concessions. This allowance helps manage inventory, promote products, and facilitate smoother transactions between manufacturers and retailers. Promotional allowance. Promotional allowance are discounts given to retailers as incentives to promote a manufacturer's products. For instance, a manufacturer may offer a retailer a $2 allowance per unit for advertising their product. If the retailer purchases 100 units, they receive a $200 allowance. This type of pricing strategy helps manufacturers increase product visibility and sales through retailer promotions. Lastly, advertising allowance. Advertising allowance are provided to retailers in return for featuring a manufacturer's product in their advertisement. For example, if a manufacturer offers a $1,000 allowance to a retailer for including their product in ad campaign and the retailer spent $2,000 on the campaign, the net cost after the allowance is $1,000. This collaborative effort helps both the manufacturer and retailer by sharing the advertising expenses and boosting product exposure. Discount and allowance pricing are powerful tools in the arsenal of pricing strategies. Discounts directly reduce the price for consumers, making products more attractive and affordable. Allowance pricing, on the other hand, involve financial incentives from manufacturers to retailers, encouraging promotional activities and facilitating smoother transactions. Both methods aim to increase sales, clear inventory, and build customer loyalty, ultimately benefiting businesses and consumers alike. Understanding and effectively implementing these pricing strategies can significantly impact a company's success in a competitive marketplace. There are four discount and allowance pricing. The first, trade discount, seasonal discount, quantity discount, and cash discount. Trade discount is a reduction in the listed price of goods or services offered by a seller to a buyer, usually in the context of wholesale transactions or large orders. It is not recorded in the seller's accounting books but is instead applied directly to the invoice before the buyer makes payment. So there are trade discounts are used for several reasons. First, encouraging bulk purchases. Encouraging bulk purchases is the sellers of offer discounts to incentivize buyers to purchase largest quantities. Second, building customer loyalty. Building customer loyalty is the regular customers may receive discount as a reward for their continued business. Third, clearing inventory. Clearing inventory discounts can help move old or exist stock. Fourth, simplifying transactions. Simplifying transactions by offering a straightforward reduction, both parties can avoid the complexities of negotiated pricing for each transaction. So, here's an example. Imagine a company that sells office furniture. They have standard list price of $1,000 for a desk. For book buyers, they offer a trade discount on 20%. So, if a business ordered 10 discs, the trade discount would be $1,000 less price times 20% trade discount equal to 200 discount per desk. The discounted price per desk would then be $1,000 minus $200 equal $800. For the 10 decks, the total trade discount would be $200 times 10 equal $2,000. Thus, the business would pay $800 per deck, and the total cost for 10 decks would be $800 times 10 equal $8,000. Seasonal discount. Seasonal discount is a price reduction offered on goods or services during specific times of the year to boost sales. These discounts are typically aligned with particular seasons, holidays, or events when consumer demand may fluctuate. Retailers and manufacturers use seasonal discounts to encourage customers to make purchases during slower periods or to clear out inventory to make room for new stock. Example: imagine a clothing store that wants to clear out its summer inventory to make space for fall clothing. As the summer season ends, they offer a 30% seasonal discount on all summer apparel. Original price of a summer dress is $100 and the seasonal discount is 30%. The discount amount would be $100 original price times 30% discount equal $30. So the discounted price of the summer dress would be $100 minus $30 equals $70. Customers are incentivized to buy the summer dress at the reduced price of $70, allowing the store to sell off its summer stock before fall arrives. Cash discount. Cash discount is a reduction in the invoice price offered by a seller to a buyer as an incentive for the buyer to pay the invoice earlier than the due date. This practice helps sellers improve their cash flow and reduce the risk of bad debits. For example, an invoice might state 2 and 10 net 30, which means the buyer can take a 2% discount if they pay within 10 days. Otherwise, the full amount is due in 30 days. If the invoice is $1,000, paying within 10 days would reduce the amount to $980. Dynamic pricing strategy. Dynamic pricing strategy is a strategy where businesses adjust price for their products or services in real time based on a market demand, competition, customer behavior, and other external factors. This approach allows businesses to optimize revenue by charging higher price when demand is strong and lower price when demand is weak. Here are 5 examples of dynamic pricing strategy. First, airline industry, demand, time to departure, competitor pricing, and customer data. Airline industry is airlines frequently use dynamic pricing. When you search for a flight, the price you see can change based on various factors such as demand, demand price increase as more seats are sold. Time to departure, time to departure is prices may rise as the departure date approach, especially if it's a popular route or travel time. Competitor pricing is airlines adjust their prices based on the price offered by competitors. Customer data. Customer data is price might be higher if a customer frequently searches for flights without booking, indicating a strong interest. For instance, if you look for a flight from New York to Los Angeles a few months in advance, you might find a ticket for $300. As the departure date gets closer and more people book tickets, the price might rise to $500. Conversely, if demand is lower than expected, the airline might drop prices to fill more seats. Escalator clause. Escalator clause is a provision in a contract that allows for an increase or sometimes decrease in wages, price, or other agreed upon terms based on certain conditions or triggers. These clauses are commonly used to adjust for changes in economic conditions such as inflation, cost of living, or market prices. The purpose of escalator clauses are designed to protect parties from future uncertainties or changes in market conditions. They provide a mechanism for automatic adjustment without the need for renegotiation. So here are the types of escalator clause. First, wage escalator clause. Wage escalator clause is often found in level contracts. This adjusts wages based on inflation or cost of living indices. Second, price escalator clause. Price escalator clause is common in long-term supply contracts and adjusting price based on changes in the cost of raw materials or other inputs. Third, rent escalator clause. Rent escalator clause is used in lease agreements to adjust rent based on inflation or other economic indicators. Example: imagine a construction company, ABC Builders, signs a contract with a supplier, XYZ Materials, to purchase steel over the next 2 years. Given the volatility in steel price, they include a price escalator clause in their contract. Example clause: in the event that the market price of steel increases or decreases by more than 5% from the base price of $500 per ton, the purchase price shall be adjusted accordingly on a quarterly basis. The adjustment will be based on the average market price of steel or reported by the Steel Market Index. Estimating costs. Estimating costs involves predicting the expenses required to complete a project or deliver a product. Are two types of cost and level of production. First, fixed cost. Fixed costs, also known as overhead, are costs that do not vary production or sell revenue. A company must pay bill each month for rent, heat, interest, summary, and so on, regardless of output. Fixed costs are costs that don't change with the quantity of output produced. That is, they have to be paid even if there is no production output at all. Second, variable cost. Variable costs are costs that change with the quantity of output product. That is, they usually increase as output increase and vice versa. Unlike fixed costs, variable costs are not incurred if there is no production. Therefore, they are usually reported per unit.
Process for cost estimation. Cost estimation is a crucial aspect of project management and budgeting. Here are key discussion about the process for cost estimations along with an example. For number one, purposes and importance. Helps is budgeting and financial planning. Essential project approval and funding. It aids in risk management and contingency planning. For number two, methods and techniques. Analogous estimating uses historical data from similar projects. Parametric estimating uses statistical relationship between historical data and other variables. Bottom-up estimating break down project into smaller components and estimates cost for each. 3-point estimating uses optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely estimates to calculate an average. Steps in cost estimation. Define scope. Clearly outline project requirements and deliverables. Collect data, gather historical data, expert opinions, and relevant information. Select method. Choose the appropriate estimation techniques. Develop estimate. Calculate cost using the selected method. Review and refine. Validate estimate through reviews and adjust as necessary. Document and present. Record the estimation process and present into stakeholders. Number 4. Challenges and risk. Uncertainty and assumption. Estimations are based on assumption which may not always hold true. Scope change. Change in project scope and affect cost estimate. Data limitation. Inaccurate or incomplete historical data can lead to incorrect estimates. Bias. Personal or organizational biases can estimate. Tools and software. Various tools like Microsoft Project, Primavera, and specialized cost estimation software helps streamline the process. For example, estimating the cost for buildings a small residential house. Step-by-step process. First, define scope. A single-family home of 2,000 square feet. Include 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a kitchen, living room, and garage. Second, collect data. Historical data from previous similar project. Input from architects, engineers, and constructors. Current market rates for materials and labor. Select method. Bottom-up estimating combined with expert judgment. Develop estimate. Foundation is 10,000, framing 20,000, roofing 8,000, electrical 5,000, plumbing 6,000, 7,500. Total estimated cost is 82,500. Review and refine. Review estimated with expert and stakeholders. Adjust based on feedback and additional data. For number 6, document and present. Prepare a detailed cost estimation report. Present stakeholders for approval. Consideration and adjustment. Location. Location is adjust cost based on local market condition. Implementation. Factor in potential cost increases over time. Risk management include contingencies for unforeseen issues. This structured approach ensures a comprehensive and accurate cost estimation, crucial for successful project planning and execution. Backward pricing method. This method starts with the desired ceiling price based on market condition and consumer willingness to pay. From this ceiling price, cost and desired profit margins are subtracted to determine the maximum allowable cost to produce the product. Second, Keystone Markup Method. Keystone pricing involves doubling the wholesale cost to determine the retail price. It's straightforward method often used in retail to ensure a standard profit margin. For number 3, absorption pricing method. This method involves allocating all costs, both fixed and variable, to the products to ensure that the price covers all expenses and includes a profit margins. This method is also known as full cost pricing. How to calculate future cost of goods using inflation rates. Calculating future costs of goods using inflation rates involves adjusting the current cost by the expected rate of inflation over a given period. Here's how you can do it. First, identify the current cost. Determine the current cost of the goods for services. For number 2, determine the inflation rates. Find the expected annual inflation rate. This rate can be obtained from economic forecasts, government reports, or financial analysis. For number 3, estimate the time period. Decide the number of years into the future you want to project the cost. Demand curve. It's a graphical representation of the relationship between the price of a good or services and the quantity demanded by consumers over a given period. It it is illustrate how much of a product consumers are willing and able to purchase at various prices. For topic number 5, how to estimate market demand. Estimating market demand involves analyzing various factors to predict the quantity of a product or service that consumers will. Number 6, factors affecting market demand. The demand for a good increases or decreases depending on several factors. These include the product's prices, perceived quality, advertising spend, consumer income, consumers' confidence, and change in taste and fashion. For topic number 7, how to find labor demand curve. To arrive at your labor demand curve, plot the marginal revenue product of labor you calculate above on labor demand schedule or graph relating net revenue after deducting wages on the y-axis and number of workers on the x-axis. This is the firm labor demand curve based on the marginal revenue product of labor. Shape of demand curve. The demand curve shape when the quantity of a product or services demanded at each price level change. If the quantity demanded at each price level increases, the demand curve shift rightward. Inversely, if the quantity demanded at each price level decreases, the demand curve will shift leftward. Factors affecting individual demand. The demand for a good increases or decreases depending on several factors. This includes the product's price, perceived quality, advertising spend, consumer income, consumer confidence, and change in taste and fashion. everyday low pricing. Everyday, everyday low pricing is the strategy of the retailers to set con- consistently low prices on the products instead of having discount event or promotional pricing. For experience core pricing and products line pricing. Products lines pricing is a strategy businesses uses to set price for the different products within a product range. This strategy involves adjusting prices based on future quality or size of items in the product line rather than using a single price for all products.
General supply and demand curve, our axes, our supply and demand lines, and then we'll label everything. Once again, price is on the vertical axis, quantity is on the horizontal axis. P star and Q star denote my intersection of my supply curve, which is upward sloping and it's in blue, and my downward sloping demand curve, which is in red. Now we need to take a look at a demand shift factor. So here I have an example. The price of a complementary good has decreased. So we know that the price of related goods in consumption, so complements and substitutes, will shift the demand curve left and right when their prices change. In this case, the price of a complementary good is decreasing, which is going to shift my demand to the right. In this case, the price of the complementary good has decreased. And if you need an example, think about peanut butter and jelly. Imagine you consume these together all of the time. Well, if the price of peanut butter goes down, then you will demand more jelly. So this will shift the demand curve to the right, as you can see here. We would denote this by demand prime, and this just tells us that this is the new demand curve. Now you'll notice that P star has increased to P prime, and if we follow this along to the new intersection, it's right here. And you'll also notice that Q star has increased to Q prime, and we can follow this up to the new intersection point where demand prime and supply intersect. Now you'll notice here that both P and Q have increased, and no matter what, this will always happen when demand shifts to the right if supply does not move. That is to say that as long as supply does not move, if demand increases, then both P and Q will increase 100% of the time, no matter the magnitude of the shift, whether it's big or small. We have other videos on the channel looking at different shifts left and right of both supply and demand, so if that's something that interests you, please locate those videos, and I hope that you find them helpful. If you found this video helpful,